by area. Flux per area. For finding out B, we have a formula phi divided by area. So here we don't have any value for phi. So we can't use this equation directly. So area we know that is already given. So or we have calculated that area. We don't know what is the value of phi. And if you look at this equation, we have one more equation for MMF where it is MMF is equal to B divided by mu 0 mu R1 into L1 plus B divided by mu 0 Lg. So this is another formula for finding out MMF. Okay. And let us go for the last sentence of this question. Assume that iron part takes about 35% of total magnetomotive force. Okay. That means the total 1575 ampere turn, that is you have calculated just before, is given to, or I can say that 35% of it is given to iron part and remaining 65% is given to the air gap. Okay, that is the meaning of that. Assume that iron part takes 35% of total magnetomotive force. So we have already calculated total magnetomotive force, that is 1575, and out of this 1575, 35% is for the iron part. So this is the equation for, or this is the MMF required for iron part. So this is the equation for MMF uh, equation of MMF for the iron part. And second one is the equation for MMF in the air gap. So 35% of total MMF is given to iron part. Then what is the meaning of that? 60%. Remaining 65% is for the air gap. So I can write 65 percentage of 1575, that is 65 into 1575 divided by 100, that is 65 percentage, that is equal to B divided by mu 0 into Lg. This only because of that they have given the condition, assume that 35 percentage of total magnetomotive force is consumed in the air iron part. So only because of that statement we have written this equation. 65 percentage of total mmf is equal to B divided by mu 0 into Lg. So from this, we know what is the value of mu 0. Mu 0 is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7. And Lg, they have given Lg also. Lg is the air gap. So let us check that one. So we have found out what is one total mmf, that is 1575. So 65 percentage of total mmf is nothing but 1023. So 1023 is equal to B divided by mu 0 into Lg, that is gap. So B divided by mu 0 value is 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 and Lg is 1.5 into 10 raised to minus 3. So from this equation you can find out B. Okay, so all of you try this one and check whether you are getting this. ഓക്കെ, എല്ലാവരും ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ. ആൻസർ കിട്ടിയോ? വാട്ട്സ് ദ വാല്യൂ ഓഫ് ബി? ഓക്കെ, എല്ലാവർക്കും ബി കിട്ടിയോ വാല്യൂ? Okay, now after finding flux density, what you have to find out is magnetic flux. So what is the equation for magnetic flux? We know the equation for magnetic flux. It is B into area, or actually we know B is equal to flux per unit area. So flux by area. So flux is nothing but B into area. So B we have calculated just now, and area is already we have calculated here, 7.06 into 10 raised to minus 4. So if you multiply both, you will get what is the value of flux. So you can write this also. ഓക്കെ, ഇത് എഴുതിയോ? കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആയോ? എന്നിട്ട് നിങ്ങളും കൂടെ റെസ്പോണ്ട് ചെയ്താൽ എനിക്കൊരു ഫ്ലോയിൽ പോകാൻ പറ്റുമേ. Okay, now about the fourth one, find out what is the relative permeability of steel ring. So how to find out a relative permeability? Anyone please tell me how to find out a relative permeability? Relative permeability means mu R1. ആർക്കെങ്കിലും പറഞ്ഞു തരാൻ പറ്റുമോ എന്താണ് റിലേറ്റീവ് പെർമിബിലിറ്റി? So uh, we already know this part. Okay, that is 35 percentage of uh, 35 percentage of MMF is consumed by the iron ring. So in this, we have just found out what is B, and mu 0 is a constant. Mu R1 is what we have to find out. L1 also we know. So we can write 35 percentage of total MMF. 35 percentage of MMF is equal to, that is actually consumed in the iron material. B divided by mu 0 mu R1 L1. So we know what is the value of B. What is the value of L1 also we know. Mu 0 is a constant, 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7. Mu R1 we have to find out. And total MMF also we know it is 1575. So 35 percentage of 1575 is equal to B divided by mu 0 mu R1 into L1. So from this equation, you have to find out what is mu R1. So all of you find out and tell me what is the value of mu R1. So what is the value of mu R1? So how to find out? 35 into 1575 divided by 100 is equal to B. What is the value of B? 0.858. It is 0.858 divided by 4 pi into 10 raised to minus 7 into mu R2 into L1. So value of L1 is actually 0.783. So from this equation, just find out what is mu R2. Okay, what is the answer? ഇത് ആൻസർ കിട്ടിയില്ലേ? കുറെ ടൈം എടുക്കുന്നുണ്ടല്ലോ. 969.8. Okay, so it is correct answer. Okay, so this is 35 percentage of total MMF is equal to B divided by mu 0 mu R1 L1. So 35 percentage is given. So we have calculated mu R1 is nothing but 969.8. So this kind of problem can be asked for your semester exam for some 10 marks. Okay, so it is very easy. If you know few basic equations, you can easily do the problem. Okay, now let us discuss uh, Faraday's laws and Lenz's law. Okay, so what is Faraday's first law? So this we have studied during your 10th or plus 2. Okay, so before going to Faraday's law, I just want to remember you that we are in the module magnetic circuit, and there we have studied already about magnetomotive force, what is flux, what is reluctance, magnetic field density, sorry, magnetic flux density, magnetic field strength, and then we have understood what is the difference between series magnetic circuit and parallel magnetic circuit. Also, we have done some problems on series magnetic circuit. Now, little theory. Okay, so Faraday's first law. So Faraday's first law says that whenever a magnetic flux linked with a coil changes, an EMF is induced in the coil. Okay. So whenever a magnetic flux linked with a coil, so that means there is a coil and there are flux around this coil. Okay. If this linkage changes, okay, once it is changing the linkage between field and coil, so EMF is induced in the coil. So EMF will be induced. Okay. So there is a coil and flux. So whenever there is a change in flux linkages, EMF will be induced in the coil. Okay, at first, when it is at rest, there won't be any EMF induced. Okay, വെറുതെ അങ്ങനെ വെച്ച് കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ EMF induce ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ടാവില്ല. Whenever there is a change in linkage, there will be an EMF induced in the coil. Okay, so any change in the magnetic field, that is any change in the magnetic field of a coil or wire will cause an EMF to be induced in the coil. This EMF induced is called induced EMF. Okay, so ഇങ്ങനെ EMF induce ചെയ്യുന്നതിനെ induced EMF എന്ന് പറയും. And if the conductor circuit is closed, the current will also circulate through the circuit, and this current is called induced current. Okay, so assume that there is a coil. So this is a coil. So what I am doing is I am connecting a resistor and an ammeter here. Then what I do is I am taking a magnet, permanent magnet, the north pole and south pole. So initially assume that this is at this position, there won't be any EMF. Suddenly what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this magnet into this coil somewhere here. That means there is a change in flux linkages. Initially very less amount of flux was linking with the coil. Now there are large amount of flux is linking with coil. That means from minimum to maximum linkage has happened. That is flux linkage has changed. So at the time EMF will be induced. So the EMF induced is called induced EMF, and the current which flows through this EMF, or the current which flowing because of this induced EMF, is called induced current. Okay. Now how to change the magnetic field is the question. That is the first one we have already discussed by moving a magnet towards or away from the coil. So I have to insert this magnet into the coil, and again I have to take it back. I have to insert, take it back like that. I have to keep on moving this magnet so that EMF will be induced. Or what I can do, I can move the coil into or out of the magnetic field. So instead of moving magnet, what I can do, I can move the coil. That is another method. So both the cases, flux linkage, there will be a change in flux linkage. Or I can change the area of the coil placed in the magnetic field. Okay, so by changing the area, if I keep on rotating the coil, what I can do is I can change the total area of the coil. Again, by rotating the coil relative to the magnet. So these two sentences are almost same. Okay, by changing the area uh, or by rotating. Okay, almost similar. I can change the area by rotating the coil. Okay, we will see one example. There is a coil. Okay, the coil is wounded on a cylindrical object, maybe a pipe or something. Then what I am doing is I am moving this magnet. So initially you just observe that there is an ammeter which is connected across the two terminal of this coil, and ammeter reading shows 0 volt, or sorry, 0 volt is not voltage, is ampere. Okay, 0 ampere. Then what I am doing is I am moving this magnet little bit towards the coil. So that means initially there were no flux linkages. Now there is a flux linkage with the coil. So flux linkage with the coil has changed. Now you can see in that ammeter there is a deflection. So previously it was in this position. Now there is a deflection towards the right side. That means some current is flowing. Then you also observe the third diagram where I am moving this magnet outward of this coil. So what happened? At that time the deflection is towards the left side of the ammeter. So that means every time when I am moving this magnet towards and out of this coil, EMF is induced. So whenever there is a change in field, എങ്ങനെയാണ് ഫീൽഡ് ചേഞ്ച് ആയത്? ഞാൻ അത് ഇൻസേർട്ട് ചെയ്യുന്ന സമയത്ത് കൂടുതൽ ഫീൽഡ് കോയിലുമായിട്ട് ഇൻട്രാക്ട് ചെയ്തു, അല്ലെ? തിരിച്ചെടുക്കുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഫീൽഡ് കുറഞ്ഞു വന്നു. സോ ഇഫ് ഐ മൂവ് ടുവേർഡ്സ് ആൻഡ് ഔട്ട്സൈഡ് ഓഫ് ദിസ് മെറ്റീരിയൽ, the flux linkage keep on changes, and what happens, EMF is induced. So EMF induced in this manner is called induced EMF, and the current flowing because of this induced EMF is known as induced current. So that is the first law. Okay, so whenever uh, magnetic flux linked with a coil changes and EMF is induced in the coil. So that is the first law. So you have to write this statement as it is, and you have to tell what is induced EMF, what is induced current. So first you have to write what is the statement, then you have to explain what is induced EMF and what is induced current. Or also you can write these 4 points also, how to change the magnetic field. Then you draw this diagram and explain what is the case when each of this instant A, B, C. ഓക്കെ, അത്രയും എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്യണം. വെറുതെ ആ സ്റ്റേറ്റ്മെന്റ് എഴുതി വെച്ചാൽ പോരാ. ഓക്കെ, whenever a magnetic flux linked to a coil changes and EMF is induced in the coil, അത്ര എഴുതി വെച്ചാൽ പോരാ. ഓക്കെ, അത് എഴുതണം. ഇൻഡ്യൂസ്ഡ് EMF എന്താണെന്ന് എഴുതണം, ഇൻഡ്യൂസ്ഡ് കറണ്ട് എഴുതണം, വാട്ട് ഇസ് ദ കോസസ് ഓഫ് how to change the magnetic field എഴുതണം, and also along with that you have to draw these diagrams. Next one is Faraday's second law. Okay, first law is actually about how to induce EMF. Second law is about magnitude of induced EMF. So it states that the magnitude of induced EMF or EMF induced in the coil is equal to the rate of change of flux linkages with the coil. That means magnitude of induced EMF. I am writing magnitude of induced EMF is equal to rate of change of flux linkage. That is, there is a number of coil, and for this coil, as the times changing, flux linkage also changes. Okay, that അത് നമുക്കറിയുന്ന കാര്യമാണ്. So as we move towards the coil, flux linkage increases. When we are moving out of this coil, flux linkage reduces. So as the time goes, the flux linkage changes. So it is equal to the rate of change of, okay, there are, assume that there are n number of turns. So each turn, the flux linkage happens. So total flux linkage is equal to n into 5. Okay. So the flux rate of change of flux linkage, that means rate of change. Normally we used to represent with d by dt. So d by dt of n phi. So EMF is equal to d by dt of n phi, where n is constant. So I can take n outside. So E is equal to n d phi by dt. So that is about how much EMF induces in the circuit. Okay, first one is about how to induce the EMF. Second one is about what is the magnitude of EMF induced. Okay, so it is stated that the magnitude of induced EMF in the coil is equal to rate of change of flux that linkages with the coil. So normally rate of change of flux is d phi by dt. This is actually for one turn. So whenever there is an n number of turns, you have to write n into d phi by. So E is equal to n d phi by. So that is about second law. Okay, first law state about how to induce EMF. Second law is about magnitude of induced EMF. And then we have third law, which is not Faraday's third law. It is another law given by Lenz's law. So it is about the direction of induced EMF. Again, first law is about how to induce EMF. Second law is about magnitude of induced EMF. Third law is about direction of induced EMF. The direction of induced EMF is such that it will always oppose the change that causing it. Okay. So if you look at this diagram, how EMF is induced means this because of I am moving this magnet towards the coil and out of the coil. That is the causes of induced EMF. So there will be the how this induced current will flow. It will oppose this cause. So what you have to do is you can take the equation of second law, that is n d phi by dt. So the direction of this induced EMF is to oppose the cause producing change in flux. So what you have to do is you have to put a minus sign here. This is the opposite direction. It is always try to oppose the change that is causing the production of induced EMF. Okay, so that is that. So one example for this is one application of Faraday's law is mic. Okay, so there is a diaphragm. So this is a mic actually, and see that there is a diaphragm. On that diaphragm, they have wounded coils, and there's a permanent magnet. So as this person speaks, what happens is that sound wave exerts some kind of force or uh, sound energy on this diaphragm. So that will move the diaphragm on the permanent magnet. That will move the diaphragm on the permanent magnet. So when it is moving, the flux linkage with the coil changes. and EMF is induced. That is one application. And there is one more method, that is, this is actually a generator. You can see that permanent magnet, north pole is there, south pole is there, and in between I have placed a conductor. So this conductor will be rotating. So whenever it is rotating, there will be a change in flux linkage, and because of that, EMF will be produced. So that we will discuss later. Okay, how what is the working of generator, because we have to cover that topic later. So I think all of you understood what is Faraday's first law, what is Faraday's second law, and Lenz's law. It is very important. Okay, they will be asking for 4 marks on it. So Faraday's first law states that whenever a magnetic flux linked with a coil changes, an EMF is induced in the coil. So the EMF induced in the coil is called induced EMF, and current flow because of this induced EMF is called induced current. And there are 4 methods to change this flux. That is by moving the coil towards the magnet, or you can move the magnet towards the coil. Then you can rotate the coil. You can change the area of the coil. There are the different methods. And then we have learned what is Faraday's second law. The magnitude of induced EMF is equal to rate of change of flux linkages. Okay, or flux linkages with the coil. So from this one, we got the equation. Okay, for the first law, we have to explain with the help of some diagrams. For the second law, we have equation E is equal to N d phi by dt. And the third law is actually Lenz's law. The direction of induced EMF is always such as to oppose the force producing change in flux. So what you have to do is you have to write the expression for second law and put a minus sign because it is opposite. And then applications of Faraday's law are mic, microphone, and then generator. And what we do is we will do a small problem. Uh, okay, not this one. Okay, so the ninth one. So this is one of the question paper for the semester exam. It is the question paper for uh, December 2020 exam. Just now, they have your batch, mechanical batch and civil engineering batch has written this question paper, written this exam. Okay, so there is a question. Okay, so they are asking us, there is a coil. Okay, what this one? There is a coil with a resistance 50 ohm, and it is placed in a magnetic field of 1 milliweber. The coil has 50 turns, so N is 50, and a galvanometer is connected galvanometer of 400 ohm resistance is connected in series with it. So already coil has a resistance. I'm writing like this. Coil, assume this is a coil. So resistance 50 ohm. Along with that coil, we have connected a galvanometer also. So this galvanometer has some 400 ohm resistance. Find the average induced EMF and the resulting current if the coil is moved in 0.1 second from a given field to another field of zero point 0.2 milliweber. Okay, so we have to find out induced EMF. So what is the formula of induced EMF? E is equal to N d phi by dt. So this is the formula. Okay, so how to find out this d phi by dt? So we have 1 milliweber. Okay, that is rate of change of flux linkage. So it is actually d phi by dt is actually phi 1 minus phi 2. So initial flux divided by the actual flux now divided by the time for that change. Okay, so initially they are telling like the coil is placed in the magnetic field of 1 milliweber, and then they have moved this coil to a magnetic field of zero point 0.2 milliweber within zero point 0.1 second. So for this movement, they have taken 0.1 second. So your d phi dt is nothing but this one. Okay, that is zero point 0.8 into 10 raised to minus 3, that is milli. Okay, that is 1 milliweber minus 0.2 milliweber. 0.8 milli or okay, zero point 0.8 milliweber or 0.8 into 10 raised to minus 3 divided by zero point 0.1. That is nothing but 8 milliweber is nothing but your d phi by dt. Okay, assume that first your coil was in a magnetic flux of or magnetic field of 1 milliweber. Okay, ആദ്യം ആ കോയിൽ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നത് 1 milliweber ഫീൽഡിലായിരുന്നു. Then they have changed the field to 0.2 milliweber. So from 1 milliweber to 0.2 milliweber, they have changed the coil. So within zero point 0.1 second, that is also important. So what is the rate of change of flux linkage? So 1 minus 1 milliweber minus zero point 0.2 milliweber divided by zero point 0.1. So what is the difference between 1 milliweber and zero point 0.2 milliweber? It is 0.8 milliweber divided by time 0.1. So 0.8 divided by 0.1 is 8 milliweber. Okay, now d phi by dt is 8 milliweber. So EMF induced is equal to 8 into 10 raised to minus 3 number of turns. Number of turns is given directly. It is having 50 turns. So it is nothing but 40 millivolt. 40 millivolt is the EMF induced. All of you understood? മനസ്സിലായോ ഇതെങ്ങനെ ചെയ്യുന്നത്? ഇത്ര ഈസിയാണ്. 6 മാർക്കിന്റെ ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ ആണ്. എന്ത് ഈസിയാന്ന് നോക്കി. So this 40 millivolt is actually connected across this resistance. So what is the total current? They are asking second question. One more question is that induced EMF is 40 millivolt, resulting current. So there are two coil. One is your coil resistance 50 ohm, and then there is a galvanometer that is having 400 ohm. So total resistance, because it is in series, total resistance is 450. So the current which will flow is voltage divided by resistance, that is 40 millivolt divided by 450. So that is the current through the coil. So it is very easy. You will be easily getting the 6 mark. Okay, I think you have understood this one. You can download this question paper from the net, or I will upload the same. Uh, okay.